that I've encountered who do want to help with communication.
Oh, absolutely. On the
It's
flip
not
side,
just
though,
us.
if your
Quite
group,
definitely.
if your group and our group were getting the same results all the time, doing the same techniques, and we don't share that with anyone else, how is it going to get universal? How are we going to get more results to where we can not only the field aspect, but to prove the field in a scientific method, but also to be able to prove it 100% to everybody that has doubt about it?
You know, in chat, we have Brenda who said that things that are created in a sterile environment die, but I I think this is not necessarily a sterile environment. This isn't a sterile science, okay? Because this does not happen in laboratories. This happens in environments that spirits are comfortable in. And so I don't think it's unrealistic to not need a sterile environment, but you do have to have repetitive methods and measurements to do the testing, right?
Absolutely. Because in the real world, there is no sterile environment, and that's where we encounter these.
Yes.
These experiences, they're rarely ever in a controlled environment. You know, ITC, the world of ITC communicating through electronic devices, you know, computers, telephones. Some of the early things were created, you know, just with creating a specialized microphone that people were in sterile environments getting results. But the scientific community scoffed at it, and, you know, it didn't fit their ideology, so it doesn't exist. We have to have an open mind, an open availability, an open way of communicating with each other to where we can ever evolve it to that point.
Absolutely. You know, I think that everybody who has done this for any length of time has that moment where, you know what the guys felt like in Ghostbusters when they went into the mayor's office, right? Where it's just like, but this is real. Yeah, whatever.
We've had that moment before, for sure.
You know, that's just, I just think that, let's see, we have a question over here that says, can spirit be captured and observed? Do you think it will ever be possible? And that's from Denise.
I'm going to say yes, it's possible, but with the methodology and techniques and equipment we have now, no. And the only way we're ever going to get to that point where we are like Ghostbusters is to honestly be able to work together, establish baseline, standardized techniques for investigating. Because if we can isolate down, for example, just on an electromagnetic frequency schedule, level, if every phenomenon occurred at a certain milligauss, and we could isolate that in that range, we could develop more equipment to help create that range for spirits to have energy to communicate. That's something that one group may be able to figure out on their own, two maybe together, but it's not going to be to a universal level. You're going to have flukes outside the experiment. So if for 2 years you continuously measure the same frequency, you might get results 30% of the time, which in this world is pretty fantastic.
I would be happy with that to start with.
Right. On a universal level across the board, if you have 300 measurements from two groups versus 300,000 from 150 groups, you are more able to get dialed into a right frequency of EMF or whatever the field of measurement may be, temperature, to isolate that, with barometric pressure to create the sterile environment, to create the world that the scientific community wants to be considered a science. But one group or two groups not going to accomplish that. It's got to come from everybody working together to get to that point.
You know, it's so bizarre because you see people come together for different types of things. You know, National Ghost Hunting Day, World Ghost Hunting Day. Big, hairy deal. Everybody wants to go. Everybody wants to be on an awesome location with an awesome group doing a great investigation. That would be an ideal time to do testing.
Absolutely.
Have you thought about coordinating with them?
We've reached out to a few different aspects in that, but I mean, we haven't really gotten a whole lot of dialogue created there. But that's something we're certainly open to doing. You know, the more the merrier. And
well, that would be a huge pool of talent of people that take this seriously, who have the equipment, who have the abilities, because, you know, there is no question of whether science is real. That is real. It's actually been weaponized in the past. It's actually been tested, used by both the Russians and the U.S. and the Brits and everyone else. So that's a definite. So, you know, if you have paranormal investigation groups going out, you're going to have the side, which is proven science. Then you have the testing, and I don't know many groups that don't have a psychic or six, depending on their size, right? So,
right,
you know, whether they've been proven correct or not, they at least are getting evidence for them. So you've got that side covered. All you need is to have teams, and just make sure that you point out you're going to have to be a professional and responsible team to participate in this. Everybody wants to consider themselves that. So, you know, the majority of people, I think, really are that. There's some that go around, you know, trespassing and busting in doors and being an idiot. But for the most part, people that are out in the field that are doing real work consider themselves serious and legitimate. I think it would be a good sell.
I do. I would definitely agree with you. And I think I guess we'll call it bedside manner of not always being super polite to those that seem to be problematic in the field probably has not helped. It makes me seem a lot less warm and fuzzy than I really mean to come across as.
Well,
but
you know, everybody has their skill set, right?
It's so true. Absolutely.
And if that's not yours, find someone with your group who does have that, and let them be your spokesperson in this, you know, in this realm.
I think I've met a lot of people in this field that should be in it, and they're great to be in it, and they help others. And then unfortunately, I've met so many, even ones that, you know, have their shows that know nothing about it and have done nothing but hurt people. So I get a little jaded, and I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But as soon as they start telling me, like, no, Noah, you got to understand, this is why we use a Ouija board, they lose me at that level. I'm like, oh, no, this is why we go hunting demons, and they have no clue what they're talking about.
Would you put that into a legitimate paranormal investigation group, though?
What's that?
If that's all they're doing, would you put those people into the classification as a legitimate paranormal investigation group?
No, I absolutely would not.
But on the flip side, the problem is they consider themselves part of a paranormal group, and then that gives the rest of us a bad name. So it's a double-edged sword.
It is a double-edged sword, but I have come across those people too. And I've also come across those people who are very dramatic psychics, right? We all have.
I feel, yeah.
And which also make you feel awkward and icky in an investigation, because it's you're not getting anything to support what that experience is that they're sharing. So you get in the hole that you're trying to back out of. So I think that you need a spokesperson who can address that. There are an awful lot of people who only go into the paranormal side of things to be like lay exorcists, not deliverance people, but they, with very limited training, go into people's homes claiming that they're exorcists. And I know of one instance where they performed an exorcism on a child in a home that really peeved me. And
well, I would probably be peeved right along with you.
You just actually have to, sometimes you just have to say what it is, right? And It was a place that I had investigated, and I knew that there was nothing demonic there. And these people came in behind us and told the family that, oh yes, there's demons, and it's attached to your child, and we're going to have to do an exorcism. Well, that's irresponsible and dangerous, and quite frankly, wrong. That's child endangerment. And
absolutely,
I was very frustrated, and at the time, I didn't know what to do about that. So I was fairly outspoken, and I will always continue to be about that. I don't know what the answer is to be able to get these things controlled, especially situations like that. There's always going to be someone who is seeking drama, right? And
yes, there is.
Those are the ones that you have to clear out of the or you know what? I'm being judgmental. I'm saying these are the people that need to be blocked from participating in these studies, but you know what? How do we know that? I'm being judgmental. I'm probably wrong to do that. Just because I don't agree with it and think that's a danger, I don't think children should ever be involved in those scenarios. But we are about to go to our second break, and we can continue this discussion for about 3 days. So we'll be right back.
Easily, yeah.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.